Hello, I'm Scott from ByTheBrush Miniatures, and today I'm going to show you how I make jungle bases. So obviously from the examples I've got in front, you can see that there's a lot of different ways you can adapt this for different looks, and you can make it as complicated or as simple as you like. So I'm just going to take you through the process that I use for my jungle bases. So I'm just going to start with this guardsman here. All I've done to the base is I've base coated it in this Mournfang brown here. You can use whatever brown you want or even a different colour. The reason I've gone with Mournfang brown is because it kind of sets the tone for the whole base. So it gives it that kind of warmer, jungly kind of tone. But it depends on what vibe specifically that you want to go for. So once you've got it base coated, we can move on to the steps. So what you're going to need for this process is some basing glue, doesn't matter what kind. I've got this army paint, summer undergrowth. So this is just like vines, and you can kind of get them from a lot of different places, but I'll post a link in the description to these ones in particular. I really like army painter products, as you can probably tell from my setup. I've got this just kind of stuff. It's just like little gravelly, rocky stuff. This one's brown battleground from Army Painter, but you can use whatever little gravelly rocks that you want. More often than not, you're going to find that you are going to end up painting these, but you don't have to paint them if you get ones that are a colour that you're obviously happy with. And I like this one because it gives that kind of natural kind of undertone for the jungle itself. So I quite like this one at this colour, so I'll leave a link to this as well. And last of all, you're going to need lots of grass tufts. Doesn't matter where they come from, and it doesn't matter what colour they are at all. So my little friend here, the very first thing I'm going to do is apply some basing glue. So I'm literally just putting this all over the base, just like this. And there we go, that is the entire base covered in basing glue. So now, all I want you to do now is take some of the grass tufts. Now, as you can see with like this guy and this guy, you can use like completely different colours. I've used this kind of purpley colour here to give a more alien kind of vibe. These bases, these guys are part of the same army, but just for a bit of variation, I've used different colours, because obviously in a jungle there's lots and lots of different plants, hence why it's a jungle. So you're better off getting a lot of different varieties of grass tufts. You can see on this guy here, there's another shade there as well. So I'm gonna take for this one of these just kind of basic green grass tufts here. These are from the Army Painter, these ones, but you can use obviously whichever grass tuft that you want. Depending on the size of the base kind of dictates whether you're going to want to use one grass tuft or quite a few. Obviously, with it being a jungle, the more the merrier, so whack as many of them on there as you can. I think this Space Marine, with this being just one guardsman, I might not include as many, but with this Space Marine I've got 1, 2, there's a purple one back here, 3, maybe 2 purple ones actually. But I've got plenty and plenty on that model, so don't be scared. There's no such thing as too many grass tufts when you're making a jungle. Okay, the next step is you're going to take your Battlegrounds. Now, luckily mine's in a tub. If yours isn't in a tub, you might want to just put it in like a container or something like that. So all I'm going to do here is literally take the model here, and I'm just going to kind of dunk it in the Battlegrounds there. And you can get it all the way down, and then lift it up, shake it off, and then all I'm going to do is to make sure that it's not sticking inside of the grass tuft, just tap it quite vigorously to get it all out. And then I'm checking specifically the grass tuft to make sure there's none left in there. If there is, that's actually fine, because it doesn't look too bad, but you can always just kind of get it out with a little scraper if you do find anything in there. At this point, if you're not happy with the colour of the Battlegrounds, this is when you would paint the base itself. So obviously that would be base coat, and then a bit of a wash, and then a dry brush is the way that I like to do that. But I'm quite happy with this kind of varied colour of the rocks. The basing glue dries clear, so you don't need to worry about that appearing in the final product. What I do now is take my veins and I'm just going to vary it up. I'm going to take some like this and kind of get as much as I can. You might have plastic veins or bushes, shrubs, whatever you can find, just anything to do with plants. And all you're going to do is kind of scrunch it up and get all of the pieces that you want to use ready. Little bits of dead stuff as well, that's good too. Okay, I think that'll do for this model. So now, really nice and simple, I'm just going to take my basing glue and I'm going to whack some dollops fairly randomly all around the base. And now the reason I'm doing it randomly is because that's going to mean I'm not really deciding what's going where, and the base is going to look nice and chaotic and random like a sprawling jungle would. So now all I'm doing, I'm taking, you can use tweezers if you want, it might make it a bit easier. Taking some of this rubbish and I'm just putting it on the base, just like so. So I'm bundling it up like quite nice and tightly. I'm not afraid to get glue on my fingers, so I'm going to squish it down and wipe that off. And then I'm just repeating this process right around the entirety of the base. Now for this lowly guardsman, this is the final product. So obviously you can make this as dense or as spread out as you want it to be. This is obviously not quite dense, but then you can take one like that, where it's obviously a little bit more dense, or like this Space Marine here, where it's quite dense. So one way that I like to take these bases further is using water effects. So you get a lot of rivers and streams and jungles. So this Space Marine here has a little stream just there. So the way I do this is during the step where we applied the battleground, all I would do is I would use like a tool like this and just kind of carve out. You can actually see this is exactly what I've used. You can kind of carve out in the glue after you've glued everything an area where you're not going to glue the battlegrounds onto the base. And then what I would do is I would fill that with the water effect. The water effect I would use for this is this Vallejo water texture. This is the runny stuff. So just put a bit of that in there and then make sure it fills in the whole space. Let that dry. And then once I've done that, I've used this Vallejo water texture just to put ripples and make the stream look like it's moving, because obviously streams are moving water. You can also create puddles and just little things like that. And then I'm making sure I'm putting a lot of grass tufts around the water to make it a bit more realistic. And I'm also adding, just for a little bit of kind of extra pizzazz to the base, I'm just adding the vines kind of going over the top of the water there as well. So that is it for this video. Please obviously like and subscribe, don't need to say that, and leave a comment down below and share this video with all your friends. And we will see you in the next one.